What if you're not stuck? You're just looping. What might feel like your personality, your stress, your lack of clarity, your inability to move, decide, trust yourself, or finally live fully might have just been something you've been repeating, not really something you are. But there it is and how it looks. Same loop, same thought, same story you bought till it sounded like the truth. Same voice in your head that you followed instead of the part that you already knew. But if nothing's really broken, just a bunch of parts misunderstood, maybe in a very major way. So, on that what if, this is your invitation. This is your invitation to the Limitless experience. What's inside the Limitless experience? This is a structured, retreat. But it's exactly that structure that allows for chaos to uncoil and for new experiences to emerge. It's that exact sandbox of support that allows an unfolding that we rarely have the chance to have. This is structured to create or encourage or allow for insights, realizations, not just common understandings. Each day is designed to take you deeper, from seeing the loop to breaking the loop to living differently, sometimes completely differently beyond it. So, what's up? Day 1, we help you see more clearly. You see what's been creating your experience of life. That's kind of the point as I see it. To have you have more capacity, more capability, more robustness about yourself, to help you have a clearer mind, to give you clarity that's always been there. A clear mind and a better experience of life is what we're hoping to open you up to. So on day 1, you begin to see what's been creating your experience of life. Thought becomes visible. The outside in misunderstanding begins to loosen. And what's felt fixed for so long will start to soften. Day 2 will be breaking the loop. You will stop mistaking patterns for identity. Stop seeing circumstances as you. Emotional loops, self-stories, and pressure patterns will lose authority. Your mind will begin to settle naturally. Day 3, living limitless. You'll begin to translate clarity into movement. Purpose becomes clearer, cleaner, decisions become simpler. Relationships become lighter. Action arises. Actions become far less forced, more emergent, more natural. This isn't just theory. This is not more information. And if you've ever done anything that seems to be like this, from whoever your coaches have been, this isn't that. This is something you will experience directly. Your mind, your body, in your choices, your relationships, and your life. So, those who have been here before, in earlier versions of this, what did they come for and what did they get? Well, people usually come because they want more clarity, confidence, peace, or movement. You know, the successes of life across the areas of life: business, finance, success, health, relationships. But what participants often get is much deeper than that. People have come in to join us to fix themselves, supposedly. And then they discover that the thing they thought needed fixing was often just a misunderstanding, a repeated pattern, or a thought-made identity. And I know these things look real, yeah, but when you begin to see something that you've been taking too seriously, so seriously you think it's you, when you see it for what it is, often misunderstanding taken into repetition and a pattern you eventually thought was you. But once you see it, oh, what that opens up. Some deliberately come for clarity, and they leave with a different relationship to thought, emotions, pressure, identity, action, and our lived experience of being human. This being strange software, walking around with parts of us in the hardware of our bodies. Some come for momentum and leave with cleaner movement, less force, less friction, less warring with themselves, and a more practical operating loop. Systems, simple systems they can use in real life. Simple systems not previously possible because, well, sometimes we just aren't clear enough. Some come for change, truly. And that's a hard ask because as humans, we claim we like change. It's fashionable sometimes, you know, revolution, this and that, but we're horrible at changing. We don't like change much. We don't like the discomfort of the new as much as we claim. But some do come for change, as hard an ask as it is, and they leave seeing differently. And when we see well enough, when seeing changes, when perception changes deeply enough, life changes from the inside out. In our spaces, it'll be an immersive experience. Direct, sometimes not so. Structured, but with enough space. You'll feel spacious, inside and out. We're working with trust, impact. This isn't about fluff and stuff you've tried before. There isn't like a performative layer to this. I'm just tour guide, aiming to help you have the best experience of the moment in your lives moving forward. There'll be a ton of live guidance, some hand-holding if necessary, true live coaching, where you'll see the machinery of experience in real time. We'll have direct demonstrations of how thoughts, meanings, and identities get created and how they lose power when we see these things clearly for what they are. There'll be a bunch of guided inquiry where I help you break the seeming logic of your own repeating patterns. Not because I'm fantastic at this, but I've had some experience with it, and a bunch of us have seen things and have had conversations which have opened us up to an entirely different experience of life. That's kind of the direction where we're hoping to go with this. I truly am a kid here who's seen something at the edge of the playground that if I pointed to, you will not see, because where I point, you will see my fingers. And I'm aiming to hope you have a look at and see what I've seen at the edge of the playground. But you gotta go there. I'm just a kid who's seen something that I hope you see, because it's wonderful and real, and it'll change everything. So yeah, there will be also some structured reflection and insight. I'll guide you through with little nudges that will surface what's been quietly running you until you see who you really are, what you really are, and you get to see how remarkable that is. There will be deep integration. You will leave with real application. You won't leave with hype, hustle, mere inspiration, some mindset thing or another. You leave with a practical clarity loop that you can live from. Moving forward. Who else might this be for, Ben? Well, this is for people who are done with service level change and are actually ready for something real. It's for high performers, optimizers, people who can function, lead, produce, and carry responsibility, who have to carry responsibility, but still feel a bunch of that internal pressure, overthinking, noise, or self-friction. This is for true seekers who are rightly tired of stuff and fluff. This is for people who know there is more, but who have had enough of the vague inspiration, spiritual theater, drum beating, drama, and temporary highs and motivation hype that don't really carry on, don't really translate into a better livable life. This is for people who are on that edge, that cusp, who are standing on the edge of things. Those who already feel that pull, this pull, and know this isn't random. And this is for those who know that if they ignore this pull, they know they're going to regret it. Because this is that chance. Arguably a chance of many, but how many times do we pay attention to those? Really? So, in case this isn't clear, because it's strange, I know. This isn't about drum beating, noise, or proving. This isn't logicking or arguing to prove a point. This is about clarity and movement, and something that emerges when the noise clears. This is you, without all the interpretations and the beliefs that weigh you down. This is you, without all that distortion. So, here's your invitation. Join us for the Limitless experience this April. Save your seats. You can email kenkensamera@gmail.com or hit us up on the socials to receive the next steps. We'll guide you through. And yeah, we get that this isn't for everyone. And if this goes past you, well, it's okay. Just wasn't the time for you, I guess. Maybe. But that's funny because most people, we need to be exposed to something like 8 times before we begin to pay attention. And that's funny how slow to change in awareness we are. Yeah, this is for people who already feel this is different and know that something real is here waiting for them. So, email us or ask questions. But yeah. Before you decide, listen, you don't need more time. You also don't need more force. You don't need another version of the same internal loop. you could use a clear moment where everything shifts, where thought becomes visible, where the pattern loosens and the thing you thought was the problem stops running and ruining your life. And hey, if you've come this far in this conversation, something in you already knows this isn't random. This matters. And just so we're clear, this isn't therapy. This is a transformational, immersive experience focused on creating space for insight, clarity, reshaping identity in manners we choose, for practical applications and a lived understanding of how our experience of reality is actually created. This is not just motivation. This isn't hype. It's not about a temporary emotional high. It's built to change how you relate to thought, pressure, emotion, identity, decisions, and movement. It's about how you show up in the world. You may have heard of one of the backdrops that informs this experience. You may have heard of the 3 principles of mind, consciousness, thought. This isn't just about that. And you won't need any experience with that to appreciate and understand this. You won't need any prior knowledge. We've designed this to be accessible to you, whether this is your first exposure or a deeper conversation, a deeper immersion, a deeper rabbit hole dive into something that'll open you up to things you just didn't know were possible. And yes, this will help with optimizing your performance across all the areas of your life and how you choose along those areas of life. One of the truly defining edges of Limitless is this translation of deep clarity of mind into much cleaner decisions, lighter actions, better systems, and cleaner loops, and more natural, real-world execution. So, hey, this is your moment. No, not because everything is perfect. Not because you've finally figured it all out, but because something in you recognizes this and knows you don't want to keep living the same internal life on repeat. Because you don't need more noise. You could, however, use one clear moment where everything shifts. So, if you're ready, if you know, join us this April for this Limitless experience. We'll see you there.